Okay, Ed Akehurst here. In this video, we're going to go through how to automatically create a user account when someone purchases from you, so you don't have to do it manually. You're going to need to be in your QB account. You're going to need to be in your Zapier account. If you don't have one, you'll need to get one, and we're going to use a premium Zap, so you need to have a paid version. Does not have to be anything high-end or fancy, just whatever the basic paid Zapier is. It will cost just a little bit of money, but it's definitely better than doing this all manually and having customers wait and having to stop and do all this work. So let's go here. Now you'll need a third thing that I'm not going to show you in here. You're going to need to have some type of a platform where they pay you. I'm going to use Kartra in this example. You can use ClickFunnels, Genius Pages, whatever platform you're using to get your sales. You're going to want to set it up with Zapier and get an integration done. There's tutorials, there should be tutorials in each of those platforms. I know ClickFunnels has some, Kartra has some. I've made the ones for Genius Pages. I have a whole set of them. You can go to my YouTube channel and find them if you don't know how to integrate it. And there'll be minor differences in how these integrate with what I'm showing you, but I'll show you where you look and what you get. It's so close enough that this tutorial will work for any system that you need. So the first thing you need to do is make sure you're logged into QB, okay? And you want to go to this, up here it says API settings, okay? Go to that API settings. And a couple of things you're going to see here. You'll see 4 different tabs here, and you'll see a tab off to the right. If you have multiple extensions, make sure you're in the extension that you want to add, okay? And there are tabs here. I'm going to show you how to add a user. You can also suspend a user. If they stop making their payments, you can unsuspend them if they start their payments up again, and you can delete them if they cancel their subscription. And if you go into one of these to do that, to take the actions in here, make sure you switch back to the extension you want. If you switch these tabs over here, this resets to the top one. A little inconvenient, but just make sure you remember that if you do that. I'm going to give a quick note on suspending users. I do not use a Zap to automatically suspend them. I use a Zap to text me if their payment fails, to text and email. And then what I do is I reach out to that customer. Hey, your payment failed. Was this intentional, or are you meaning to cancel? Do you have a problem? Is there something I can help you with? Or was it a fluke? Can we set you up? They might need to redo a card. They might have had a low balance. Whatever they need. I want to save that sale. Even quote-unquote little sales I want to save, because we're dealing with residual recurring income. Okay, so even if somebody's only $20 or $30 or $40 a month, it may not seem like a lot of money, but over a course of a year, that's several $100s. And if you can save 5 or 6 accounts and they're going to stick with you a year or two, now you're looking at thousands of dollars just for making a couple of quick connections with some customers. So that's the way I do it, but you can automate all of that in here. So let's get to work. We're going to deal with posting, webhooks, headers, and then fields. Okay, so the first thing we do, once you've gone to this page, you're in Add User in your QB account, and you've got the right extension over here. Then you want to go to Zapier and make a Zap. Now I recommend naming your Zap first so you don't lose it in there anywhere. And of course, make it something so you know what it is. Create Genius Messenger CRM user from Kartra sale. Okay, very straightforward. Now, if you haven't used Zapier before, Zapier has steps, and the first step is always a trigger. It's always when this happens, and then the next step is do this. So we have a trigger, and then we have an action. So we'll start up here in the trigger, and as I said, I'm doing Kartra, so you'll click whatever your payment platform is, and Kartra has all kinds of things that you can automate in it. Some things may not have all that much. Like this is a full system with autoresponders and all of that. But Genius Pages, for example, has forms and products at the moment. So there'll be 2 of them, 2 events. When they complete a form, when they buy a product. In this case, we're looking for when a customer buys a product, and find the trigger that's called that or something close to that in your platform. And then you'll need to select the account. I've already got mine attached. If you don't, go through the tutorials with your product and find out how to integrate it with Zapier. Kartra looks for a funnel, a product, and a price point. Some only look for a product and a price point. That's fine. My funnel is the Chrome extension. The product is the Chrome extension. And the price point, we don't have, a pro and a basic and a platinum, anything like that. So any price point is fine to set this account up. And I'll hit continue. And what it's going to do is ask us to test this trigger. Now it's going to go out to your account and pull all the sample data from a sale. Okay, the email, the first name, last name, all that data. It's got sample data. And as long as it grabbed that successfully, we know the trigger is done. Now we're under the do this section. And what we want to do here is look for webhooks by Zapier. You can search here, just type webhooks by Zapier. Again, premium, you need the premium Zapier account, and click that. There are a couple of things we need to do. The event type is post. Okay, and we know that because add user, post. The next thing we're going to need is this URL here. I'm going to hit copy in the green box, so we've got it. And then we've got post, and now we want to add the URL. That'll be the next field that's offered us. Make sure there aren't any spaces at the end. And then we're going to insert, we need the payload type next, sorry, JSON. Always select JSON. You can remember that over here. The application type is JSON, so that's our payload. Okay. And we need to add 6 data points. The first thing we want is the email. I always add the email first, and it's email, all lowercase, no spaces, no dashes, and we know that because it's here. These are our 6 fields we're adding. I always add the 4 that come from the trigger first, which is the email, the first name, the last name, and the phone number. And then the other 2 come from your QB account, the token and the extension token. So email, so this needs to be just like that. So that'll be email. We're going to enter first name is first_name, last name is last_name, phone number is phone_number. Very important that that is over here in the data type. Email. Now, when I click in there, it's going to call up the data that it has from the first step. We want to get that email from Karcher, or from wherever your purchase sale was. It may not say action details, transaction details, buyer email, but inside of your data points that it's found for the sample data, find the one that correlates to email. Then hit this plus over here, and if you remember, it was first_name is what we're looking for next. And again, just find the data point in the sample that has that. Then last_name, same thing, last name. And then we need one more for phone_number. Again, we got all of that information from QB as to where that, how that is, and is it lowercase, uppercase, all of that. And the phone number, we'll have to show all options. And there's the billing phone number. So those are our 4 data points that come from the purchase. Now we have 2 that come from QB. So the first one is token. All right, T-O-K-E-N. And that information, the data, will always be the same, but it's unique to your account. So copy from your QB account that, and if there's an extra space, mine always puts an extra space at the end for some reason, delete it. Very important. And then the next thing we need is the extension token. I'm going to actually copy that from here because there is a capital letter in there. You don't want to forget it. And again, the extension token data comes from QB. And if there's a space at the end like I have, delete it. Very important. We're not doing anything with wrap or file or unflatten or basic auth, but we do have to add the header information. And that is here. That is content type. Whoops. Make sure you copy that exactly like it is there. Lowercase, uppercase, dash, no spaces, all of that. And if there's a space at the end, delete it. And then the data itself is this, application/JSON. And just copy that again. If there's a space, get rid of it. Okay, and we're good. So now we're going to continue. It's going to ask us to test. And hopefully this will go through just fine. And there we go. End user created successfully. You can see, let's go back to QB. My extension users, there's John Doe, John.Doe at email, Genius Messenger CRM just set up. Okay, that is that sample data. Now the next person that comes in from Karcher, if Karcher throws that same sample data up there, John.Doe, what you'll get here is code 2, and it'll say data false message, end user already exists because this John.Doe at email.com already has a Genius Messenger CRM. So I'm going to be courteous and delete that test account so that the next person who tries to set up a Genius Messenger CRM using Karcher won't have to see that false message. Now, if the message is false, you're good to go. It just somebody else already put, that test data in there, that email address, it exists. But excuse me, if it comes back that the end user already exists, it did it successfully. It grabbed the data, it went out into QB. QB even said, "Oh, we can't add that one. It exists." So the Zap is working perfectly. And then make sure you turn on the Zap. Super important. A lot of people forget that. They, "Oh, my Zap doesn't work," and I'll go in to help them, and I'll look, and their Zap is off, and it should show up. So that's it. That's how to do this. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to help in any way I can. Thanks.